Hello there, my name is Valerie White Williams and I'm a voice teacher and a vocal coach for Vocal Splendor Studios. Today I'm doing another reaction video and this time I'm reacting back to Amira Willighagen and her song, How Does a Moment Last Forever? So let's have a listen.
Does a moment last forever? How can a story never die? It is love we must hold on to. Never easy, but we try. Sometimes our happiness is captured. Somehow our time and place stand still. Love lives on inside our hearts and always will.
Okay. I haven't heard her for a while, but I'm seeing that she's kind of moving into almost like the Disney princess, which I think really works for her. I mean, she has a lovely voice and lovely focus and some great musical, feelings, but she has a lighter voice. She's still young. She's maybe 18. But I would call her a light lyric soprano at this point. And I'm hoping that she really goes to somewhere like Juilliard and really gets some serious training. But we'll see. We'll have to see how her career takes off. So let's keep going.
Minutes turn to hours, days to years, then gone. But when all else has been forgotten, still our song lives on. Maybe some moments weren't so perfect, maybe some memories not so sweet, but we have to know some bad times, for our lives are incomplete. Then when the shadows overtake us, just when we feel all hope is gone, we'll hear our song and know once more our love lives on.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. The thing about her is she is just always so joyful. I always feel it's hard when children start on reality TV. There's so much pressure, and she was utterly sparkly. But then when you get into your teen years, they're more self-conscious. You're still kind of figuring out who you are, and things change in that way, because I think you just get more self-conscious when you're a child, especially when you're very young child. You're just all there, you're just focused. But when you go through puberty, things shift and you have to make decisions, and you get a little, I don't know how to say the right word, but you need to focus on what you want. And I think this is where she's at. She's at this turning point. It's what do I want to focus on? Do I want to really sing opera? Do I want to sing more what I call popra, which is great. She's done really awesome in a lot of those concerts. Do I want to actually start doing some of this Disney heroine music? But you know what? She has such a following. She can do whatever she wants.
Our love lives on.
So that section was really a testimony, because what I look at, I'm the voice teacher, and I adjudicate. I just got an email. I'm going to be adjudicating again at a local school district, teaching pretty much 6 hours a day, coaching every 10 minutes. So I do a lot of girls her age, and when she did those ahs, it was very nicely placed. I didn't see any tongue tension, and a nice pause. Everything was really relaxed. That's what we're looking for. Because what happens, it's so easy to pick up tension. And even really singers that are already professionals or they work on the road, sometimes things happen, and even though they have good technique to start out with, things can happen. Like you go to a coaching program and you get yelled at. I had my teacher that was 92 years old had a student that was at the Lyric Opera in Chicago, and which is a huge program, a world-class program, and she had a coach that was saying, be louder, be louder, be louder. And what happened is she started pushing the voice. It just happens. And so singers have to constantly be aware of not allowing tension to affect them. And they can happen with people that are going through trauma of death or divorce. The voice is a fragile thing. And so that's why when you want to sing at the level of what she is doing, which is very pure and the classical training, we have to keep the tension out. But so far, so good. She's still young. She's got a lot to grow into.
How does a moment last forever? How does our happiness endure through the darkest of our troubles? Love is beauty, love is pure. Love makes no mind to desolation. It flows like a river through the soul, protects, proceeds, and perseveres, and makes us whole. Minutes turn to hours, days to years, then gone. But when all else has been forgotten, still our song lives on. How does a moment last forever when our song lives on, lives on?
All right, I really enjoyed that. And I was interesting because I think that she's, at least with this particular performance, backing away from the opera. And I noticed at her very last note, she didn't allow the vibrato to spin. It's kind of working more like, again, like the Disney princess, where there's a little bit more straight tone. It was still a lot of round singing. She had a lot of connection from top to bottom. I didn't see any tension. But this particular song was not opera or even popra, where we're bringing in a little that vibrato spin, because I could see that she was carefully using some straight tone in that last note. And I don't know this song. Maybe someone wrote it for her, but she... So relaxed on the corners, but it wasn't. So that vibrato didn't come in. Now I'm guessing that was a choice, because of course we've heard her sing a lot of vibrato in a lot of other pieces, but in this particular song, there was a choice to sing a bit more. I don't know what to say. I just want to say Disney princess, because that's kind of what I'm thinking of. Now, that's a great analogy, because the Disney princesses of recent years are not opera singers, but they're not necessarily pop singers. They are not necessarily belters, although there was like a couple, but we usually have more inspirational songs. And so that is appropriate to keep that straight tone. Everything's really relaxed. And the other thing about this song is it was kind of rangy. And she was really good getting into that lower voice and the higher voice and going through all that. So yes, what I saw in her is actually making a choice to actually keep that straight tone in the voice because it's more that Disney princess. And what reminds me of her is the young Julie Andrews, because when Julie Andrews was a young child, she also sang opera arias. And her families were in the theater world. And so, everybody trained kind of in the opera world because it used to be like that's what you train in. You always train in opera. And that's how it is in a lot of in the United States colleges, is that you train in a classical way where you're getting the vibrato and then later you might sing some opera. That's how it is. So, but it used to be thought that singers can't sing different genres or they'll hurt their voice or they will mess it up or they couldn't sing both. So if you were an opera singer, you couldn't sing jazz and you couldn't sing rock. And I know a singer in Seattle, she's around my age as well, and she had an amazing rock voice. She just had this thick, full sound. And then she went to college at Colorado. I'm not going to mention the college because I don't want to. But anyway, she went to college and she wanted to be a voice major, but she was still doing session work even as a young girl because she had that voice. And what happened is the voice teachers told her after like the first quarter or semester that they kicked her out of the voice program because she was doing recording work as a young singer, a professional, because they didn't approve. And when I talked to her, she still was really hurt by it. But she has had a great career, but that was so wrong. That was so wrong because you can really sing different styles if you're taught how to manage the differences. So that's what I'm seeing with her in this particular song. This is not opera. It's not opera at all. It doesn't have that full-on vibrato, but it had that kind of like Julie Andrews Sound of Music vibe. And we call that legit in the musical theater world. So she wasn't singing a whole lot of vibrato too, Edelweiss, Edelweiss. She was going, Edelweiss, because that wasn't really appropriate, but it's still round, soft, aware, pretty. And the thing about Amira is I think she picks songs that are inspirational. This isn't exactly a religious song, but there is this inspirational feeling that I think she loves to share with her audience and people. So it's going to be really interesting to see where she goes, what she does, what colleges she's going to choose, what types of singing she's going to do. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I know she's done The Sound of Music and I haven't reacted to that. So maybe I should do that next because I know that was a few years back. But that is kind of where she's kind of, going, I think. Sounds a lot like Julie Andrews in her youth. And we'll just see. I hope she sings opera too, because you know what? Opera is really fun, just saying. And I mean being in an opera. I mean, singing opera arias in a concert are great too. But there's something magic when you put on a costume and you sing in an opera with other ensembles and you're acting. It's magic. So I hope she gets that experience. I really, really do, because I think she would love it. And hopefully she'll get to a college where she can actually experience that. Because I'll tell you, so many singers want to sing opera so bad because it is fun. It's really fun. But so is singing rock and other styles. So I can't wait to see what she does. And if you love Amira Willighagen as much as I do, make sure you subscribe and click on the bell so you get notified of all my uploads. And I also want to let you know of my 2 free passion projects on Facebook. First is YouTube Success Strategies, that I'm helping people do well on YouTube, and also Creative Soul Alignment for people that are creative and spiritual, because we are all spiritual as we create our own life. And I'm also have a little room for some other students. So if you want voice lessons, you can contact me at my website, which is above my channel name, and you can find it right there. So you just go into About Me and you can find it. All right, take care and I'll see you next time. Bye.